Hello everyone, Agion here, another Steel Division Normandy 44 replay. I'm starting this replay in the deployment phase much earlier because this is a 4v4. And I don't think I've casted a 4v4 yet, at least in Steel Division. And I'm going to assume it's going to be very chaotic, so I'm going to go start introducing the players. If you look over here on the right side, we do got Brother Pedro's the 4th Armored. Turnium 4021 as the 101st, Mr. X as the Scots, NE as the Red Devils. Do got Paradox Obscuritas as the SS Panzer Grenadier, player as the reason whenever I highlight this division number, it never pops it up. So that is I believe that's the 352nd. Over here, do got the Luftwaffe. Oh, wait, there it is. It was 352nd, and just one as Luftwaffe, and the 21st Spanzo as Sergio. This is with the new patch, with their most recent patch, I should say. So the 21st Panzer had a huge support change, making them much more effective, like more comparable to the Scots. Now, Sturmpanzer Brumbar in Battle Phase A ×1, which compared not as strong or as armored as a Churchill ARVE, but does have the 1,000 meter range rather than the 600 meter range. Mixer X will be on the left. We got NE, the Red Devils, over here in the city center. Brother Pedro is going to be in the center area. Honey, right there. Looks like only they're going to just do a handful of defense over here, which they're going to just maybe send a designated player over here. We've got two players, two allied players here. One allied, one allied. We do got one Axis. I see guys here, so just generally here. One Axis player here, and looks like one Axis player here. Brief summary of the starting income. We got an 80 and 80, 85, 85, 70 and 75, so plus 5 for Axis, but then we got the 190. So overall, plus 5 income for the Allies. Not a huge amount, so largely balanced out, but we're going to have more focus on who's facing who and which part of the map. Battle Phase B, that gets a bit more harder calculated. 25, 25, 1. Looks like the Allies get another income in Battle Phase B. Then it should be in Battle Phase C. You got 130. So that's. It looks like then Axis players will pull out of plus 5 at the end. Of course, it goes for an additional 10 minutes. So it's basically a plus 10 over plus 25 instead of plus 5. Overall, slightly more income for the allied players. A bit more of an in-depth analysis, but I can't really, with the amount of actions going to be going on, I sort of have to make these assessments in much earlier on. Got a Command 24, looks like AA, I think that's Hellcat there. No, Sherman 105? It's hard to tell, trying to select on it. It has 13 armed infantry, that may be a Hellcat. I see a lot of infantry, a mortar, perhaps a Piet team. More infantry and an AT gun. I think there may be a handful of aircraft on both sides. Can't really tell. With 4 players' income, it's really hard to tell who's what and what. Alright, I think I got my intro all done. So I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward until the game starts. It should start in another 20 seconds. Here we go. And the race is gone. Basically put, there's going to be infantry all across the line. Looks like there's going to be a bit more motorized and mechanized vehicles over here. There's Panzer 35. We do got 222s. Anything else back there? Looks another Panzer 35. Looks like this town center will be secured up by the Allies. No problem. This town center will probably be secured by the Axis. This will be definitely Allied. But the center of the map is right around here, so contesting this hedge grove multiple hedge groves would be quite ideal. We got an artillery piece already out on the field. It is the Russian Zis. We do in fact have the Hellcat here, but there's an AT gun here, so it can be quickly shot by this AT gun. What is it firing at? Oh, those are just units here. It looks like there's Fallschirmjägers and Struppen? No, Struppen here. This probably is the Laflande player. This is on the Pack 36, and that is not exactly a high armor penetrating gun, but this Hellcat only has 4 armor. We'll fire off the first shot, we'll roll a miss. Fallschirmjägers plus the command Fallschirmjäger is out. This pack and Pack 36 will get annihilated. We do even got a M15 as well as various other machine guns in the M105. They're pushing forward a heavy mechanized assault over here. Over here, a whole lot of nothing. Over here, Churchill ARVE is making its way forward. While very good armor and well as a very good gun, he has to be very careful. Drive too close and he can get taken out. Full machine guns across the flank. We got a large number of units here. We do even got a couple mortar teams. The Red Devils can get pack howitzers. That would have been nice. The extended range. We got a sniper squad here, Pathfinders, airborne paras. Actually, this is actually not the Red Devils. This is in fact, no, it's the Red Devils. This is, oh, that's just some other reason I thought Pathfinders were United States. Stormtroopers here, as well as some Nebel Warfare, 2 Nebel Warfare, so that's a lot of indirect fire. This one's actually already fired off all of its rounds. Didn't see any splash marks. Where exactly? Looks like the Fallschirmjäger player is getting double teamed, just straight up getting double teamed, which is very hard for him to deal with. Getting focused down. He does have, of course, the elite Fallschirmjägers. Excellent unit at fighting at all ranges. Has 2 FG42s as well as G43s for close range, MG34s, and even G43s for longer range. Got a field gun here. We'll force back the reconnaissance unit as well as WC52. Over here, do got a large Axis push. Looks like this Panzer 35 was bailed out. There was an AT gun in the area, if I remember correctly. But now we do got these units now making their way forward. This airborne engineer will be cut off, but doesn't have to think it's being airborne. He doesn't mind to be surrounded, but won't provide any field pressure. Field control is at 51%, plus 1 income or tickets for the Axis players. We got some more field guns being deployed out in the light of all these units. 4 does have 10 armor penetration and the extended range. And we do in fact have a Pack 40 being deployed out by the same player, the Fallschirmjäger Pack 40. These Fallschirmjägers will force to surrender, only leaving full Struppen Fallschirmjägers over here. This town very well secured up by both sides. No big firefights just yet. It looks like the stormtroopers are throughout the smoke. We could try rushing forward. These guys on return fire. Airborne Paris does in fact have 4 SMGs itself. While these stormtroopers do in fact have PPSHs, which are even better at close range. But facing against 10 men, that's still a whole lot of SMGs to fight against. Patrol ARVEs assisting these riflemen moving forward. Mass surrenders coming down. There's a Pack 38 here. 10 armor penetration. It won't exactly be strong enough to really take on the Pack effectively. If I remember correctly, it even has 10 side armor and 7 rear armor. So this Churchill ARVE is a monstrosity to deal with. It's really hard to get a good flank off because it has a good amount of side armor as well. Do got a bounce there, but it will fire 1 shot and wipe out that Pack. Oh, but this Pack 38 hits the side armor, penetrates, and will kill it off. That is a massive loss, losing that Churchill ARVE. Now it's just only a handful of infantry units. Which this Panzer 35, it will be an excellent option to take it on, but there is a 6-pounder being deployed. A veteran one, in fact. Aircraft just came on in. I think for a strafing off for against these Fallschirmjägers. Astros troop in here, they do have a whole bunch of bolt action rifles, but not a whole lot of firepower. They only cost 10, so they're dirt cheap. Using them is not a big problem. Building them is not a big problem. This AT line, however, is getting hit by the airstrikes. Pack 42, Pack 36s. The Pack 36s looks like they can engage this Hellcat. Hellcat is out of HE. Sherman 105 has an excellent HE main gun as well, with the extended range of 1,200 meters. Comparable to Stu. Ooh, has just costs less. It has less machine guns, less ammunition. AOE of the main gun is pretty much the same, but also it does have more accuracy. Duke at a armored flak weapon moving forward, eyeing to ward away these aircraft. It will take quite a bit of suppression. It's only the Flak Irving, not Flak Irving, Flak 36. That's a single 20mm, if I remember correctly. But it is armored, so it can engage infantry quite reasonably well. Rifle leaders do in fact have a Piet, so they can engage this Hotchkiss, no problem. Assuming they get a good line of sight and hit them. These airstrikes coming across the line is becoming problematic. We do got 2 support Churchill 5s coming forward. They do in fact have the extended range as well, but not the 15 frontal armor. Pack 38 only has 1,000 meter range, so the Churchill 5s will actually win out with Pack 38. You got a B-10 here, as well as a lot of pintle mounts against this JU-7. JU-7 is, this one does of course have 9 armor penetration for 2 main guns. The B-10 is trying to shoot it down. It is a very slow target. The B-10 does have an excellent amount of firepower. I'm surprised it didn't get shot down already. Is it going to escape? It really shouldn't have escaped. This thing has a lot of firepower. How on earth did that thing escape? Either way, do got a mobile pack out. It does of course have the extended range as well as some HE rounds, but only has 2 armor, and as such it gets taken out by the Abrams. B-10 will strafe and suppress this flak with the artillery piece. These AA weapons will force it back. Eventually, the B-10 is very resilient to suppression as well. It can take a couple heavy hits as well. Now the Abrams is now moving forward with support of a Command 22 Chaffee and his own 105 Sherman. There's a Pack 40 here, but can be taken out by these Cavalry Scouts. Cavalry Scouts do have 2 grease guns as well as 4 carbines and a bazooka. These Flak 38 20mm are being destroyed. He can't really be forwarding to lose them because his opponent is deploying out these heavy aircraft. He needs suppression to keep them at bay. Strug 3 has been deployed by the Loflande player, which is an excellent AT weapon, but does not have the range. Weapon damage from the artillery piece. The artillery piece did in fact commence a direct fire and take it out, but one shot from the Sherman 105 will destroy out pretty much almost everything in that group. I have to do 2 Fallschirmjägers, but they're one that's pinned down. It's getting shot at, so we'll recover. This Fallschirmjäger unit is good as dead. So overall, the Allied players are in a very good position. You got, do in fact have naval bombardment coming on in. He went for the precision barrage as well. This will annihilate this small town center here. Trying to run down the snipers with the stormtroops. He did throw a couple smoke. He may receive some fire right about now. Now here we got the heavy artillery coming in. That is 8 powerful shells. Stormtroopers trying to skirt around the flanks. The airborne sniper is down to his last 4 shots. Nebelwerfer is reloading. This one's depleted. He needs to sort of keep them together so it gets both reloaded. And the sniper will picked off the last man of the stormtrooper. Naval bombardment came on in, forcing a lot of these units to be suppressed. These stormtroopers do of course have Panzerfaust as well as 2 smokes. We got these Panzer Grenadiers. They do not have the Panzerfaust, but they do have the 2 LMGs, making this my preferred Axis infantry unit, or just standard infantry unit. Without that Panzerfaust, it makes them so much cheaper, and 2 LMGs is a significant amount of firepower. For a bomb run, we'll take out that pack team as well with the 8 of the 60mm mortar. Mortar 2s have been built. They do have 13 penetration, but like that mobile pack, they have a very small amount of armor. But they do in fact have some HE. 4 HE is a reasonable amount of HT. These armored Batnims move forward. They do in fact have 1 frontal armor and 1 side armor, but has 0 rear armor, so it can be taken out by rifle fire quite reasonably from the rear. J87 coming in for a straight run, most likely hitting this command Chaffee. And we'll get killed off right there. And in fact, get 1 good penetrating hit onto the Sherman Abrams with that rear armor right there, resulting in the death of it. That is a... While he does get shot down himself, taking out those 2 tanks is more than worth the cost. That Abrams was a very big monstrosity for him to deal with. Since he is an infantry division, he lacks heavy anti-tank at this moment of the game. But this infantry division will get Battleface C veteran Jagdpanzers. Jagdpanthers, I should say. Panthers. Jagdpanthers. Which they do, of course, have 22 armor penetration as well as 15 frontal armor, making them a monstrosity of a tank destroyer. It's under the tank destroyer tab, no. Warforce will get some very good suppression, preventing this assault. Airborne pairs will get ripped apart. Force surrender are there, and perhaps these guys will be surrendered now. Nebelwerfer barrage coming in once again. These are Nebelwerfer. This is a Nebelwerfer 42, and I think he just sort of hit his own units right there. Nebelwerfer 42s have the biggest bombs in the game. I believe even bigger than bombs, having AoE 111 meter radius, 111 meter radius. Over here, we do got the Stug. Oh, never mind. Stug was in fact destroyed by the 6-pounder. You have a Pack 40 here. Looks like one of the Churchills was match destroyed. We do got 2 priests here for indirect fire support. Marauders are bombing engagements ME19, but the only way this guy will live if he outruns the range of those machine guns, and he won't actually escape out. These guys are very grouped up. He has to be very careful not to let them get splashed. The splash damage does exist in the air. Willie's OP is going to be moving forward and eyeing for another precision barrage, I'm guessing in this general area. Perhaps maybe onto this where you last know what the Nebelwerfers were. Do got a Mosquito bomber coming on in. 6 bombs coming in. We haven't seen the Mosquito Pathfinder. This one is my favorite bomber in the game. Will not take out the Nebelwerfer 42, which is big, and will not take out the supply truck as well. Another big thing. You only need 1 member to fire off those Nebelwerfers. You got these units assaulting, then using the smokes. These are the stormtroopers from the 352nd, which means they are cheaper, but they don't have a Panzerfaust. These are 2 smoke grenades. Sometimes I would rather trade off not having a Panzerfaust or a bazooka or a Piet, just so I can make them cheaper, easier to deploy. This time you never really use that stuff. They're only helpful. They're just more of a dissuading of your opponents from the moving vehicles into the city center rather than to actually engage them. A whole lot of aircraft there. There's a Vet-2, Me-19, a Focke-Wulf 190. Say if it got a splashdown, do not got this Focke-Wulf 190 coming on in. This AA weapon will create suppression on this Mustang. No, yes, it will. The Me-19, no, it's a Focke-Wulf 190. It will be circling around, but we'll get a bad circle path. Won't be able to engage it. Do got some air support coming on in. They got a Pak-43 will be suppressed. You got these motorized units being overextended without any support. Engine destroyed on this Panzer 35 and it's in the fallback state, so we'll be able to fight back. Large dogfight in hand, but mostly it's allied aircraft. Do got a handful of AA weapons here, but a lot of these guys are actually out of ammo, which means these aircraft needs to start flying over friendly air AA in order to protect themselves, because they won't be able to win in a dogfight. This guy is smoking, and this guy will probably be as good as said. The P-38 is getting some good shots into him, as well as this Mustang getting some good shots. We'll splash down both those aircraft. Good coordination by the allied players. Control is still in favor of the Axis tickets anyways. It's still a 50-50, even with this huge bulge. If this bulge was rectified, most likely that will go into advantage of the Allies then. And we see that little bubble passing through, like this is almost like a liquid. Large number of stormtroopers here, but they're all severely wounded, probably thanks to the Willys OP. This Willys OP is very far forward. Another J-7. I know this Churchill 5 is still alive. You got Flak Irving. Flak Irvings are a very good weapon, has a very good rate of fire. It needs to start hitting this Tempest perhaps to protect this J-7. Armor comes in, will take out the field gun, but will not take out the Warfare. Not a whole lot of these. This flank for the Axis player is not exactly very strong. Only really a handful of actual staying power units. Couple MGs usually just get wiped pretty quickly. Warfare is out of ammo, so it'll take a little bit of time for him to get reinforced. Flak Irving will do quite a bit of work, but not exactly for his armor. Pak-40 is down to 2 members. An aircraft does in fact get splashed down there. Wasn't exactly sure what aircraft was and didn't leave behind a carcass to find out. It may have been a Spitfire. You got a Panzer IV-G. This is the unique veteran unit available to the 21st Panzer. Only has 6 armor, so it is not very resilient, but does have 2 additional starting out stars of veterancy, as well as maintaining the. Well, you can inspire it to be up to 3 stars, which making its total accuracy up. A very accurate unit, but a very vulnerable unit as well. We got some more airborne pairs making their way forward, as well as some air landings. Air landings don't really have a huge amount of firepower with only 7 men. They're good nonetheless. Tetrarch tracks are broken. Little John does have excellent armor penetration, but will get killed off. It doesn't only have the minimized range of 800 meters. Another engine destroyed on the command Tetrarch. Losing that, I think it's from the Panzerfaust. It was in fact from the Panzerfaust, but the stormtroopers will get cleaned up thanks to the airborne sniper as well as the other. The Nebel Warfare 42 is completely down now. There's still the Nebel Warfare 41 here, but it's currently reloading and rearming. This artillery piece. You got some smokes coming on out. I think that was maybe on the stormtrooper, but there goes Willys OP. I think that may have called in a barrage in them on some Nebel Warfare. So that's maybe how they went down. Bombing run came on in. Just over here. So this town center is getting falling in the hands of the Allies. You got 2 air interceptors, but they're going to get way outgunned. They know they have a huge amount of aircraft, and they've been doing a great job coordinating it as well. These aircraft will be lucky if they make it back home. or even survive for another 3 seconds. This one's definitely going down. This one's getting shot up as well. We've gone down first. They have lost air superiority. There's no way they can get back in this game. The 21st Panzer only has a handful of aircraft can call in, as well as the infantry and pretty much all the Axis units, if they're not Luftwaffe or Luftwaffe, to call in a large amount of aircraft. Well, Rocket Run takes out that Stug, hits the side armor, and just enough HE in order to take it out. The Typhoon AT is excellent at that. Had this P-38 bombing Lightning shot down, so there is a bit of plus. Able to shoot down those strategic aircraft, nothing to really take out for air superiority. You don't need to deploy a whole lot of anti-aircraft weapons and lure them in. We do got the Mosquito Pathfinder now coming on in. We do got the Incendiary Bombing Run. This will be a very juicy target. There's all these Panzer Grenadiers that are going to be burnt. Denying the structures, denying that road. A significant amount of damage and suppressing. Looks like a Nebel 41 barrage coming on in. We'll take out one. Oh, there's another first build Nebel War for 42. We'll take out some indirect fire pieces. Churchill Crocodile was destroyed by the J-87, getting pretty lucky on the side armor, getting good penetrating hits because those units do have excellent side armor. We got Pack 43 here. Excellent AT gun. The Church 05 will be receiving fire from it soon, as in it's dead in one shot. Another Church 05 is now moving forward. This Pack 43 is an excellent AT gun. Another dogfight's coming out over here, but we'll manage to splash on one of the Lightnings, but significantly outgunned. But these are actually Marauders. This one will be shot down by this anti-aircraft weapon. This one will be forced back. Most like the Mustang or the Lightning will take it out as well. Do got a King Tiger out on the field. I'm sort of surprised he didn't deploy the Ace version. Or was it you actually need a DLC to get the special aces for that? Either way, the splash damage coming down on these Marauders, forcing them to fall back before they got in true effect. Marauders not being deployed out. Do not be confused with Marauders, which are excellent AT mobile platforms. We have reasonable HE, but not a whole lot for it. Critical control is in favor of the Allies, getting +1 right now at 54%. Looks like these priests are running low on ammo. Haven't used any smoke yet. Now we do got 2 more Churchill ARVEs coming forward. There's not a whole lot of heavy AT assets other than a single Pack 43. So this can get some work done, assuming they do not go in the line of sight with Pack 43. Pack 43 is an open ground, and the priests are bombarding it now. This King Tiger just needs to start pushing forward. The Hellcat will have a severe time rolling time in order to gauge its frontal armor. I know he can. Oh, he can't. There's just a house right there actually preventing this line of sight. So he positioned just right so he can't engage it from the road. And he's going to perhaps try to wait it there until he exposes the side armor. Panzer Grenadiers will be suppressed. We do got a half-track assault with airborne rifles. Regular rifles. I don't think airborne rifles can come in these half-tracks. But here did in fact go down to the Martyrs. Oh, there is an AT gun here. Doesn't really have good line of sight, but can always move forward. I think these are just standard rifles. Just standard rifles. I'm gonna run down these Panzer Grenadiers, trying to force the surrender. Even the surrender, however, won't do all too much because there's Fallschirmjägers here. Plus they have their own Panzerfaust. This B-26, B-10 is receiving quite a bit of fire. I just noticed those propellers were not exactly synced properly, and there goes the heavy fire support. Fallschirmjägers aligning, fires a half, kills that entire half track before able to deploy its units. And these are army rifles. They have 8 Garands, 2 carbines, and 1 bazooka, making them an excellent fire support team. Not exactly a heavy elite firepower with the LMGs, but they do have the bazooka, the waterway vehicles. Good all ranger. Plus, they're having 1-star veterancy. So this Sherman tank is receiving, Sherman Rhinos receiving massive fire from these Marauders. They only have +1 arm penetration. Seeing multiple bounces onto it. Looks like Mr. X, the Scots player, has in fact surrendered. He was actually doing quite well. I'm not sure why he was surrendered. He has gained substantial amount of ground, but you got a Yog Panther now out on the field. This is a very problematic thing, and now the AI is going to try to suicide in these priests. Has an ammo truck next to them to fill them up. I think the AI is going to try to use the machine gun, I guess. Allies are in a very good position right now. They have a substantial amount of ground gain. They're gaining some ground over here. This King Tiger is very problematic. We even got a captured Sherman to support. Hellcat does in fact have the extended range, so engaging the Sherman beyond its firing capability. But we'll see a couple bounces here. The King Tiger could try rotating board away against it. He could get flanked as well, but there's nothing actually over there. So this Hellcat's the only mobile AT asset. Or any real AT anyways, it's bazookas, but that's it. We got a Challenger tank here. Now we've got this JU-87 coming in for another strafing run. It can engage this Challenger because it only has 7 armor. It looks like it's going to be hitting this Challenger as well. It's going to be hitting the side armor. 1 shot miss, 2 shots miss, 3 shots miss. Unlucky. Having actually not 3 shots times 2 because it's 2 guns missing. One more aircraft out in the sky. We do got a heavy bomber coming on in, trying to destroy these flak weapons. These flak weapons are running out of ammo. We do got an air superiority fire. A Focke-Wulf 190 will in fact shoot down the heavy bomber. Rocket runs now coming on in, perhaps trying to hit these infantry units. Got a handful of AA weapons in this area. Yeah, it was a rocket run onto this airborne rifles. The most effective, they're better against suppressing vehicles. Dark Panther's making his way forward. You got a supporting AT gun, but not a whole lot of supporting infantry. He may be out. He's an infantry division. He should have more. But you got the AI amassing a huge amount of rifles, along with his Churchill ARVEs. But we do got a very powerful hit there, suppressing down a lot of units. Nothing really engaged. There goes the Church. No, I can't tell if that was the Churchill going down. Yeah, it was in fact the Churchill going down. Just way too many units there. The rifle just doing the border shuffle. Must learn that from Civilization. Their AI. We got time on target over here. It is a 210mm Colin. Bomber runs coming on in. Mosquitoes. They do of course have a good amount of machine guns themselves. One of them will only be able to drop its bombs. It is a Veterancy 2 Pack 43, but only will suppress it. You've got this Focke-Wulf 90 now engaging the frontal one, which will destroy it. Now it's going to be engaging this one, but the AA weapons will protect it. Mosquito does have a huge amount of firepower itself. It has 4 30 cals, 4 20mm, so it actually is reasonable at ground targets. There goes those stormtroopers. Field control is in favor of the Allies at +1 at 51%. That is not a large margin of victory. At this point in the game, if they deny the field control, they could end the game up in a tie. HS1293 row B3 is coming on in, does have excellent arm penetration, will kill off one challenger. Picking off these heavier tanks is quite valuable. There's enough AA weapons here to ward it away, no problem. A heavier push on this right flank, that would be ideal. You got, oh, but the cavalry scouts use this bazooka penetrating the side armor or frontal armor of the King Tiger. That is a massive asset loss, and that King Tiger didn't really accomplish all too much. And this is the field where the King Tiger should really perform quite well, but he had to worry about the flank, so he kept them back. If he able to just sat in the middle of this field, he would have been fine. Hellcats starting to make their way forward. No real anti-tank asset except for this mortar. You got some brute Shermans, Butte Shermans, as well as riflemen there to assist. Panzer Grenadier. 87 coming for a strafing run will be forced back by the Bofors. Is still counting up in favor of the Allies, but the only their margin is very slim. This bulge is very exposed. So if you push with a light vehicle, perhaps you're able to capture quite a bit. Even just some 50 or 251 half tracks would be quite good. But there are these Piets which are a bit problematic. The Nebel Warfare Barrage getting a very powerful hit, will suppress and generally take out the area. The Axis players do have superior force in this general area. Literally did not realize his Nebel Warfare Barrage is quite good. The AI is still dancing around, but providing more than 50% field pressure along the side of the map. So he's doing fine, but an AI, they're a bit unpredictable. The Grenadiers start to make their way forward. Air landings. They do have 2 SMGs, so they're reasonable at close range, but they're just going to get outgunned by all these Panzer Grenadiers. The Airborne leader could go ahead and start firing, but only in range of 4-action rifles. These challengers are severely damaged, even vulnerable to death by HE. Start making their way forward. There are these Sherman tanks that are quite well armored, but don't have the extended range. Perhaps trying to smoke out those Hellcats is probably a good idea. Looks like this Panzer Lorraine may be out of smoke. We still have a swarm of Mustangs to deal with, and this Focke-Wulf 190 will probably get shot down. He needs to go over friendly AA coverage in order to have any chance of living. Another reinforcement Focke-Wulf 190, 2 of them. Trying to get a good ambush side. They actually do have good engagement angle. This one may in fact get shot down by this P-51. Will in fact get shot down, but will be shot down in return. Now leaving a 3 versus 2. This one is getting a bad turn radius. Will get shot down himself. He's trying to retreat back this one. He's in a good turn radius, so probably will be able to get out, but now they're getting a very good hits in. And will get splashed down quite quickly as well. Hellcats will be forced back. The Sherman tanks can start making their way forward, regaining some ground. The field control, the tickets are ahead. I believe it's 250 for the mount to prevent a draw. Create a draw. So they're outside that range. So now the Axis players will need to get 51%. And with 5 minutes left, that is not a huge... It's actually a pretty big favor to ask in order to just get enough tickets to tie up the game. We've got this Jagdpanther still alive, running low on HE. Getting some good hits in onto these rifles, but there's not really any contestment against them. You got some Churchill 6s now moving forward. Not exactly the greatest of all the units. They have 7-side armor, so they're less likely to be affected by flanks. Large number of Pathfinders and aerial landings coming on in. Do also got a rocket run. Aircraft weapons coming forward. Good fire support units, and these Axis units are just starting to get slowly whittled away. More and more units just trying to hold the line, prevent any territorial gain. There's 54% in favor of the Allies, and with 4 minutes left, that's not. Supplies are running out of time to tie up the game. Armed runs coming on in. One of them was Incendiary, which dropped right here onto the Pack 43. You got the almighty Storch coming in for a reconnaissance run. And we'll spot there's a whole lot of nothing in this flank. In fact, he has more units in. These Panzer IVs exactly what he needs to push this flank. The Hellcats do, of course, have the extended range, and as well as an excellent gun with 6 accuracy. The Sherman tanks are actually a better option when dealing with them because they're able more chance to withstand the shots. Being penetrating shots in return is not a big problem. Oh, Duke's got some Vine Warfers. This is the mortar variant. I love this one. It's available in Battle Phase B. Does great damage. Does also has access to a smoke barrage. The amount of pick snipes coming onto those Ju-87s. You got this Jagd Panther getting hit by the side armor from this Command Churchill. His own side armor is exposed, however, and will get killed off. That is a big gun. It will penetrate the side armor of Churchill. Axis players starting to make some headway over here. Really need to start pushing these flanks with less units. With the last 2 minutes of the game, that's a tall order. In fact, this is pretty much over. You can't really gain enough ground and tickets in the last 2 minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead and just start fast forwarding. Here goes the Sherman tank to the Sherman tank. These are only the 10 armor penetration with 10 armor Sherman tank, so a Sherman Rhino is much better. But there goes the Sherman Rhino to the Panzer IVs. We got a bomb run trying to eye for suppression. We'll get a very good suppression done. And now the AI is sending in a mass horde of infantry. Looks like the Scots player knows how to, I guess, build a deck quite well, because he has plenty of reserves of infantry, which the AI is making very good usage of to hold the line. The field control is at 51% of the Allies, but this is the end of the game. This is Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.